Viewers, news coming in from Manipur. The government of Manipur has announced the closure of all schools on the 7th of September following the unrest in the state following bomb attacks in Bishnupur district. Now, a notification from the Directorate of Education cited concerns for the safety of students and teachers. Decision coming in after an elderly man was killed and 5 others were injured in a bomb attack on a residential area in Moirang. Now, the attack was involves an improvised rocket. So, rockets were fired in Manipur. Situation remains tense in the state, and there is, of course, an order that has been now issued with regards to safety. Schools have been closed. All schools in Manipur have been closed on the 7th of September due to the unrest following the back-to-back attacks. And my colleague Aniruddha is joining us from Imphal. Aniruddha, tell us more updates that are coming in, because the situation in Manipur remains tense. There are back-to-back bomb attacks, rocket attacks that are happening, and in view of this, the schools have been shut down in Manipur.
Yes, Raksita, the situation continues to remain tense in Manipur, particularly in the bordering areas between the Surachandpur district and the Bishnupur district, and in the fringe areas of Imphal too. There have been tension that has been gripping the state of Manipur. Yesterday, after the setting of rockets from the foothill areas, particularly towards the valley, in the morning hours and afternoon too, in a gap of 12 hours, within a gap of 12 hours, at least 2 rockets were fired. And these rockets are highly capable of carrying a huge amount of explosive, and the rockets weigh around 20 to 25 kilograms, and also they measured a length of at least 9 to 10 feet in length. So these are typically missile type rockets which were fired upon the civilian yesterday, and that is the reason why the entire state is now again engulfed in tension, as drones are also being used by the suspected militants in order to keep a surveillance. They are also using drones to drop bombs. So yes, the situation continues to remain tense even as we keep reporting live from Manipur. Raksita.
Well, absolutely. In fact, the attack has involved an improvised rocket. But tell us the latest attack. What was the target, or who was on target as far as this rocket attack is concerned?
It is being suspected that the Kuki militants, underground militants, are behind this rocket attack that was carried out yesterday. And in fact, there have been sustainable evidence also, which Republic has also accessed. And as we had been showing, we have also shown visuals of the rockets being fired from the foothill areas. And yes, even if we talk about the use of drones, several questions are now being raised as if there is a foreign hand involved, if there is a foreign hand at play, because without the involvement of foreign hands, such sophisticated weapons, such improvised rocket launchers cannot be accessed by the underground militant outfits, particularly in an area like the Northeast.
All right. Thank you so much, Aniruddha, for joining us with those details coming in. The situation remains tense, viewers, in Manipur. And in view of that, all the schools in Manipur have been shut down today. We will be keeping a track on all the latest developments coming, viewers. Now, we shift our focus to Bengal, where, of course, the face-off continues. And in an attack against Mamata Banerjee government, BJP has now raised Republic's newsbreak on the renovation letter demanding the CM's resignation. Now, remember, Republic TV brought you that order copy where it was very much clear that office of Sandeep Ghosh had indeed ordered the demolition of the room right next to the seminar hall. That was the crime scene. Take a listen in.
Protests continue across Bengal against RG Kar rape and murder horror. Political pressure also continues to mount on the Bengal CM. BJP has raised Republic Newsbreak on the renovation letter, demanding answers from Mamata.
ये चिट्ठी आरजी कार मेडिकल कॉलेज के प्रिंसिपल घोष साहब ने लिखा है। 10 तारीख की चिट्ठी है। जो हत्या और रेप विक्टिम का होता है वो इंटरवेनिंग नाइट 8 और 9 तारीख के बीच होता है और 10 तारीख को ये चिट्ठी जारी की जाती है। उस समय ममता जी ने कहा था ये निर्णय तो पहले से हो चुका था। तो हत्या और बलात्कार के पश्चात ये चिट्ठी आनन फानन में इन्होंने एक्सप्रेस मोड ये चिट्ठी इशू हुई है।
The Bengal Governor C.V. Anand Bose, on the other hand, has sent an anti-rape bill passed by the Bengal Assembly for President's consideration. TMC has slammed Governor's move, accusing him of delaying and not passing the bill.
Honorable Governor should clear the bill immediately and urgently. If he doesn't do so, if he tries his best to make delay, then the question may arise that as there are some allegations against him, that's why he is making such delay and he is trying to make some disputes in this bill.
In another big development, the Supreme Court rejected Sandeep Ghosh's plea over his arrest. Ghosh had challenged Calcutta High Court's order for transferring the probe into financial irregularities at RG Kar during his tenure to the CBI. Meanwhile, ED team has also conducted raids at Ghosh's residence and few other places. Amidst protests and political pressure, the moot point remains: why the Chief Minister continues to remain silent.
And on to Jammu and Kashmir now, viewers. The day after BJP released its manifesto for the upcoming assembly polls, Home Minister Amit Shah is all set to hold a meeting with the top BJP leaders and members of the state. He will be addressing a rally in Jammu today. And remember, this comes amidst the reports of infighting and internal dissent in the BJP and the protests over ticket allocations ahead of the assembly elections. And of course, the BJP has sounded the poll bugle. And my colleague Gursimran Singh is joining us from Jammu. Gursimran, a very good morning. An important day for the BJP, isn't it, given the fact that there has been a lot of tensions within the party, within the BJP's state unit, the Jammu and Kashmir unit, and there have been a lot of cases of internal dissent and, ticket allocation protests that were very much visible in the headquarters.
That's very right that the BJP's cards were falling apart, but now seems that the things have started falling in line, at least for the Bharatiya Janata Party, because the BJP somewhere have managed to low down the things, at least for last couple of days. Now coming to the visit of the Union Home Minister Amit Shah. Yes, Amit Shah is in Jammu and Kashmir. He has yesterday released the 25-point manifesto that speaks of bringing the white paper on who was responsible for the terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir. He also spoke of providing the financial assistance to the eldest women of the house and also to ensure that how the job avenues can be created for the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Now today at 10:30 a.m. in the morning, there will be meeting of the BJP leaders with the Union Home Minister Amit Shah. That is the first meeting he will be taking today, followed by which is a public rally that he will be addressing in the outskirts of the Jammu. It has to be seen how Amit Shah goes in his first public rally for the Jammu and Kashmir assembly polls, because yesterday when Amit Shah was asked a question on the government formation in Jammu and Kashmir, he made it amply clear that this time it won't be Abdullahs, Muftis or the Gandhis in Jammu and Kashmir. Other than that, they will be speaking to some of the stakeholders in the Kashmir Valley. But the BJP will be forming a government and they will be giving a chief minister of their own. So now these things are the part of the BJP's manifesto. And now coming to the rally, it will be a direct attack to the alliance that has come up, that is the Congress and the National Conference Alliance in Jammu and Kashmir. Because yesterday also, at least more than 3 to 4 times, Union Home Minister Amit Shah has asked the Rahul Gandhi to clear his stand, whether he stands firmly with the manifesto of the National Conference that calls for 2 state flags, that calls for the restoration of Article 370 or 35 Alpha, that calls for the release of the prisoners that are still behind the bars. So today also it seems that Amit Shah will be going the same way, attacking the Congress party, because that has stood with the National Conference and has not released its own manifesto yet. So it is the Congress that has to answer. But for the BJP, Amit Shah's visit is very important, because the BJP feels that this will bring all the dissent, all the rebel leaders back to the party fold, and will also help the party to garner more seats that the party is actually eyeing at, somewhere 35 out of the 43 in the Jammu region.
Gursimran, what is the factor that the BJP is riding on, given the fact that it's going all alone and is promising that they will have their own chief minister in Jammu and Kashmir if they win the polls? But which factor is that will be the key for the BJP?
See, BJP is totally relying on the Jammu seats. Reason being that the BJP has not gone full throttle in the Kashmir Valley. Though they are contesting somewhere close to 20 seats in the Kashmir and all 43 in the Jammu, but the BJP also knows that in Kashmir they cannot be in the double figure at all, at least what the BJP says. Because a day before yesterday also, the BJP J&K in charge, Lama, said that we are eyeing to get 35 seats in Jammu region, and 10 nationalist MLAs or the nationalist winners from the Kashmir Valley will come with us and we will form government. That is very sure that the BJP is now banking on the independents or the people from the other parties in the Kashmir Valley. But for Jammu, the BJP that is why we have seen that the 3 visits of the Prime Minister are already scheduled for the Jammu region, only 1 in the Kashmir Valley, because the stakes of the BJP in the Kashmir Valley are not that high. But yes, they are supported independents or they are supported MLAs that will come to power. That has to be seen, because they will be the game changer for the Saffron Party in Jammu and Kashmir. The number is the 46 for the government formation, and the BJP knows that how they can manage it from some independents in the Kashmir and their own cadre in the Jammu region.
Right. Thank you so much, Gursimran, for joining us with the details coming in, and we will keep coming back to you as the Home Minister also said to hold a rally, and BJP sounds the poll bugle with that campaign. And viewers, now we shift our focus to Shimla, to Himachal Pradesh, and the city continues to grapple with tensions, with unrest and massive protests over the alleged illegal construction of mosques. And Republic TV is on ground zero, getting you the voices of the people and also the latest coming in from the ministers from across party lines, the members of all the parties, the political face-off that is right now brewing in the Hill State. Take a listen in.
Amidst massive protest in Shimla over illegal Sancholi Mosque and the rise of illegal structures and outsiders coming and taking over, Republic spoke to Himachal Cabinet Minister Anirudh Singh, who said that the issue is being communalized.
It is a question about legal and illegal building. There are several cases in Himachal Pradesh where time to time authorities which are under town and country planning, which are under municipal corporation or Nagar Parishad, where illegal constructions happen. Even if I go somewhere, I must also have a police verification out in the other state. So I have suggested Honorable Chief Minister that anybody who comes in a state, we are welcoming them. We welcome them. They are welcomed for work. Our responsibility is to give them security, all sorts of security, but police verification must be done.
Meanwhile, the former CM said that the mosque building seems to be constructed in a planned manner.
इस तरह से अनऑथराइज्ड कंस्ट्रक्शन और जगह भी बहुत जगह हुई है और धीरे धीरे वो चीज़ें सामने आ रही हैं और ये बहुत प्लान्ड वे में हो रही है, ऐसा भी लोग कह रहे हैं, लोगों का मानना ऐसा है। इसलिए सबसे बड़ी बात तो ये है कि मुझे लगता है कि सरकार को अब कदम उठाना चाहिए।
Thakur also responded to Anirudh Singh's claims to Republic, saying that he seems to be under pressure from Delhi.
अनिरुद्ध सिंह कह रहे हैं कि ये पूरा मसला धार्मिक नहीं है, ये सिर्फ इलीगल बिल्डिंग की कंस्ट्रक्शन को लेकर है, इसे धार्मिक एंगल ना दिया जाए और बीजेपी इसे धार्मिक एंगल दे रही है, यानी कम्युनल टेंशन है वो क्रिएट कर रही है।
देखिए, इसको कुछ भी बोले, मंत्री के ऊपर दबाव है, मैं अच्छी तरह से समझ सकता हूँ, और मुख्यमंत्री के ऊपर दबाव है, इस बात को भी मैं समझ सकता हूँ, और लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी मेरा यही कहना है कि इस सारी चीज़ को लेकर के गंभीरता से लेना चाहिए। गलत को गलत बोलिए, और गलत है तो कार्रवाई भी उसके मुताबिक होनी चाहिए।
Union Minister Giriraj Singh also said that the NRC should be implemented at the earliest.
कांग्रेस के मंत्री ने ये कहा कि सरकार कह रही है कि 190 को सर्टिफिकेट दिए थे बेचने के लिए, अब 1900 कौन है? मैं जानता हूं, मंत्री ने कहा, उसमें 2 को तो मैं जानता हूं कि बांग्लादेशी है। अब समय आ गया है कि इनको सर्टिफिकेट दिया जाए कौन है।
Meanwhile, the Himachal Municipal Corporation will hear the matter today.
In some more stories from across the country, a Kolkata court denied bail to Sanjay Roy, who is the prime suspect in the Abhaya case. He will stay in judicial custody for another 14 days until the 20th of September. Roy's lawyer claimed his innocence, saying he has no connection to the case and that he's being framed. The CBI, however, opposed his plea and cited that he could potentially interfere with their ongoing investigation. After considering both the arguments, the judge decided to remand Roy to custody. Meanwhile, the Enforcement Directorate detained a data entry operator and an associate of the former principal of RG Corp, Prasoon Chattopadhyay, over alleged financial irregularities. Chattopadhyay was taken from his residence in Subhashram after a 7-hour search by ED officials. He was then transported to Madhya Narayanpur in the Canning area, where Ghosh had reportedly constructed a multi-crore farmhouse. West Bengal Governor C.V. Anand Bose referred the anti-rape bill, the Parajito bill, to President Draupadi Murmu for consideration. This after he reviewed the bill thoroughly. The bill was passed by the West Bengal Assembly and has been sent to the President as part of this legislative process. Hours after joining Congress, the party fielded wrestler Vinesh Fogart from Julana in the first list of candidates that featured 31 names for the Haryana Assembly polls. Fogart described her political career as a new chapter and said that she will be focusing on advocating for athletes' rights, referring to the ongoing sexual harassment case against former Wrestling Federation of India chief and BJP leader Bhushan Sharan Singh. She praised the Congress party for supporting wrestlers during their protest. She had assured fellow athletes that the Congress party will stand by them. She also addressed criticisms and challenges she faced, emphasizing her commitment to wrestling despite various obstacles.
कांग्रेस पार्टी का मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करती हूँ, क्योंकि जब बोलते हैं ना कि बुरे टाइम में पता लगता है कि अपना कौन है। जब हम रोड पे घसीटे जा रहे थे तो छोड़ के बीजेपी को देश में जितनी भी पार्टियां हैं वो हमारे साथ में थी, हमारे दर्द को समझ पा रही थी, हमारे आंसुओं को समझ पा रही थी। मैं बहुत प्राउड फील कर रही हूँ कि मैं एक ऐसी पार्टी में, एक ऐसी विचारधारा में हूँ जो महिलाओं के साथ हो रहा अन्याय और उनके साथ बुरे बर्ताव के खिलाफ खड़ी है। वो लड़ाई लड़ने के तैयार है, सड़क से लेकर संसद तक।
The Aam Aadmi Party is likely to go solo for the upcoming Haryana Assembly elections. Speculations are rife that alliance talks between the Arvind Kejriwal party and the Congress have stalled, and that Aam Aadmi Party is planning to contest on 50 seats out of 90 independently. Now, the party is all set to release its first list of candidates tomorrow, a day before the Congress Central Election Committee meeting is scheduled to take place. Aam Aadmi Party had earlier demanded 10 seats from the Congress party, but was offered only 5 to 7. BJP is planning to introduce a regularization policy for daily wage workers in Jammu and Kashmir if it comes to power. Jammu and Kashmir BJP President Ravinder Raina has said that the party will implement it as soon as it comes to power.
जो हमारे डेली वेजर्स भाई बहन हैं, जो NYC, रैबरे खेल, रैबरे जंगलात, होम गार्ड्स, SPOs, VDCs आंगनवाड़ी की वर्कर्स हमारी बहनें, आशा वर्कर्स हमारी बहनें, और जो अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंटों में काम करने वाले हमारे जो अस्थायी कर्मचारी हैं, डेली वेजर्स हैं, उनके लिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने अपने घोषणा पत्र में ऐलान किया है कि इनकी रेगुलराइजेशन पॉलिसी को जम्मू कश्मीर में लागू किया जाएगा।
BJP National President and Union Minister JP Nadda says that to improve Bihar's condition, it is crucial to support the current state government. He highlighted that under Prime Minister Modi's leadership, Bihar is moving forward on the path of development and is transforming into a developed state. He said that earlier states like Bihar, Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh were considered Bimaru, but this is changing now. As parts of Andhra Pradesh reel under heavy rainfall, Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu took stock of the situation. Essential supplies are being provided to the flood-affected people in Vijayawada. Andhra Pradesh Civil Supplies Minister N. Manohar has said that the government is trying to distribute the supplies to over 2.3 lakh families and reach as many wards as possible. Following
the plan was to distribute to 76 wards today. Those areas which have been inundated and accessible now, we're trying to reach out to them first, because a lot of people have come back to their homes and we want to give them rice and other essential commodities so they can come back slowly to normal life. It is not just mere enumeration or not giving it to a few people. We want to give it to every household. Whoever feels that they need it, we are supplying to them, and that's the whole purpose of giving door-to-door wherever we can.
And following unrest over the recent bomb attacks in Bichhu district of Manipur, the Manipur government has ordered the closure of all schools today. The Directorate of Education stated that safety of students and teachers is important. Remember, Manipur has been facing violent incidents since the last few days, and this includes a rocket attack on a residential area in Moirang, which killed an elderly man and injured 5 others. Attack involves an improvised rocket that hit the compound of a former chief minister's residence. And in some more news, Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister Pema Khandu called on the Tibetan spiritual leader, the Dalai Lama, at his residence in Dharamshala on Friday and extended an invitation for the Nobel laureate to visit the Himalayan state. He said that the Dalai Lama graciously accepted the invite, saying that he would visit whenever he feels the call. Take a look at this report to know more.
Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister Pema Khandu met with the Dalai Lama on Friday at his residence in McLeodganj. During the meeting, Khandu extended an invitation to the spiritual leader to visit the northeastern state. His visit also involved a meaningful gift, the Phodrang, a residence used by the Dalai Lama in Tawang after he escaped Tibet in 1959. This historic site will now be donated to the Dalai Lama Trust. The Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister described the meeting as a blessing. He also participated in the Tenshung ceremony, which is a special prayer event organized by the Monpa community for the Dalai Lama. The prayer event is set to conclude today. During his visit, Khandu received a copy of The Life of My Teacher from Dalai Lama. If the Dalai Lama visits Arunachal Pradesh, this would be his 8th trip to the state. Previous visits by the Dalai Lama to Arunachal have been significant for local devotees as well as the Tibetan community.
And we start with a tragic news coming in from Uttar Pradesh. This about the Hathras road accident. As many as 15 people travelling in a loader vehicle have been killed after they collided with a state roadways bus near Mitai village at the Agra-Aligarh National Highway in Hathras on Friday. 11 people are seriously injured. In this regard, Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed grief and announced an ex-gratia of 2 lakh rupees to the next of kin of the deceased victims, while injured will get 50,000 rupees. Here's a report.
A fatal collision took place near village Mitai in Hathras. The accident that took place on the Agra-Aligarh National Highway has claimed the lives of 15 people so far and has left 18 severely injured. Emergency responders are engaged in a desperate battle to save lives at the district hospital. District Magistrate Ashish Kumar and SP Nipun Agarwal have been on site, exerting full authority to manage the crisis.
रोडवेज बस थी और एक टाटा मैजिक थी ओवरटेक करने के कारण ये एक्सीडेंट हुआ और इसमें अभी तक जो लोग यहाँ पे देखे हैं और मौके पे भी जाके वापस आए हैं यहाँ पे अस्पताल में, तो अभी तक 12 डेथ्स हमें सूचित हुई है। ये हाईवे पे है, बाईपास पे है जो हाथरस का शहर का। इसमें इंजर्ड हैं अभी 16 इंजर्ड लाए गए थे, जिसमें से 4 को रेफर किया जा चुका है।
According to the district magistrate, the accident occurred during an overtaking attempt. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has offered condolences and has assured proper treatment for the injured. The PM's office as well has extended condolences on the incident and has announced an ex gratia of rupees 2 lakh for each of the deceased's kin.
Now, a major aviation incident unfolded as a Vistara airline flight en route to Mumbai to Frankfurt was diverted to Turkey following a bomb threat. While the passengers have been evacuated safely, the probe is currently underway. Here's a report on that.
Vistara Airlines flight from Mumbai to Frankfurt was diverted to Erzurum Airport in Turkey after a bomb threat was discovered. At 2 p.m. Indian timing, the ATC Mumbai received a bomb call on Vistara Mumbai Frankfurt aircraft, after which the flight was immediately diverted to the nearest airport. The crew on board also reportedly found a note with the bomb threat. Turkish Interior Minister has issued a statement. As per reports, 243 passengers and 13 crew members have been evacuated. And in a precautionary measure, no flights are allowed to land in Turkey for the next 6 to 8 hours. 2 bomb disposal teams and a search dog are actively inspecting the aircraft for any potential explosives. Meanwhile, the Indian officials are also investigating on where the hoax call was from.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone brand.
The Russian Northern Fleet conducted extensive war games in the Barents Sea, focusing on anti-submarine defense operations. The exercises involved various support vessels and included practicing key defense strategies in preparation for potential conflicts with NATO. These drills reflect ongoing tensions and Russia's commitment to strengthening its maritime defense capabilities. Now, amid tensions between Russia and Ukraine, head of Russian Nuclear Energy Agency and the head of the International Atomic Energy Agency, they held a meeting on Friday in Russia, and we will get you what really transpired in that meeting in this report.
The head of Russian Nuclear Energy Agency, Rosatom, on Friday said that threats to its nuclear power plants are growing and that the situation is not getting any easier.
Нет никаких сомнений, что киевский режим планировал атаковать и захватить Курскую АЭС. В этом нет никаких сомнений. И только благодаря героизму, мужеству вооруженных сил, Нацгвардии, атомохраны этого не случилось.
Russia blamed Ukraine for planning attacks on its nuclear power plant.
Покажется разминкой по сравнению с тем, что будет, если будет произведен военный удар, атакующий удар по работающему тысячнику.
He further claimed that the threats on Russia's nuclear plants continue to be made.
Ситуация, еще раз подчеркну, легче не становится. Количество угроз нарастает. Есть террористические действия против гражданского населения. Несколько буквально дней назад было совершено покушение на бывшего мэра Энергодара, нашего коллеги, теперь работника атомной электростанции Запорожской Шевчика. Он тяжело пострадал, его жена также пострадала. И это просто показывает, что не успокаиваются в Киеве, продолжают наносить удары по инфраструктуре, по атомным электростанциям, по персоналу, продолжают звучать.
The comments came after the Rosatom chief met the head of the International Atomic Energy Agency.
Of course, these are enormously complex matters, and we do have our differences about them. But it's important to note that, above all, we are both committed to continue our professional dialogue on all these issues, which is indispensable. I said it in Zaporozhye, I said it in Kiev, I say it here in Kaliningrad. Nuclear power plants should never be attacked. Under no circumstance, there is nothing that justifies, there are no legitimate military targets.
Earlier this week, IAEA chief visited Ukraine and described the situation at the Zaporizhzhia plant as very fragile and vowed to expand the agency's inspections to include critical electricity supplies.
In some more news coming in from across the globe, the U.S. Secretary of State and the leader of the Dominican Republic discussed a range of issues from human rights, economic prosperity and regional security. However, the crisis in violence-wrecked Haiti dominated the discussions in a one-day visit. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken arrived in the Dominican Republic after landing in the neighboring Haiti to support a UN-backed mission led by Kenya to fight rampaging gangs. Blinken said he spoke with the Dominican President Luis Abinader about the latter concerns regarding Haiti, which shares the island of Hispaniola with the Dominican Republic. Abinader said that this administration of his is concerned over the apparent lack of resources for the mission and the thousands of inmates who escaped after gangs raided Haiti's two biggest prisons after this year as part of a coordinated attack.
President and I strongly agree that the foundation for progress in Haiti has to be security, that this has to be something that the authorities, the state, and ultimately the Haitian people control, not the gangs. So our first task is getting that done.
Russian President Vladimir Putin voted online for local elections for the Moscow State Duma. Now, local elections are held across Russia starting from the 8th of September. The residents of 25 regions, including Crimea, will cast their ballots for governors, and in 13 regions, the residents will cast their ballot for regional legislative bodies. Local elections in Russia will take place over 2 or 3 days. Donald Trump held a press conference in New York on Friday following a court appearance during which his lawyers argued that a $5 million verdict finding him liable of sexually abusing advice columnist John Carroll should be overturned. In a long and angry statement, Trump criticized the verdict and repeated that he never met Jean, touched or would have had any interest in the woman who brought the lawsuit against him.
We had a trial today. It's an appeal of a ridiculous verdict of a woman I have never met. I don't know. I have no idea who she is. She wrote a book and she made a ridiculous story up. She put it in her book, and we're now appealing the decision. We had an extremely hostile judge appointed by Clinton, very good friends of Clinton.
The prosecutor in case of the 14-year-old suspect in a shooting that killed 4 people at Georgia High School said that additional charges will be brought on the youth to include offences on other victims. Now, Colt Gray and his father, who was arrested for allowing his son to have a weapon, will stay in custody after their lawyers decided not to seek bail. Now, Colt Gray, who has been charged with 4 counts of murder, is accused of using a semi-automatic assault-style rifle to kill 2 fellow students and 2 teachers at the Appalachia High School in Winder outside Atlanta. His father, Colin Gray, faces related charges in the latest attempt by prosecutors to hold parents responsible for their children's actions in school shootings.
The next step in the process will be grand jury. The grand jury has already been in panel and have been hearing cases. Their next scheduled meeting is going to be October 17th. That is closed to the public, so you will not be able to see that. After that, he will have a scheduled arraignment. I don't have a date for that yet. And then we will start the trial process at that point.
U.S. Justice Department officials are turning to the 3D printing industry to help to stop the proliferation of tiny pieces of plastic transforming weapons into illegal homemade machine guns on streets across America. U.S. Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco said that the rising threat of machine guns conversion devices require immediate and sustained attention. She also said that the finding ways to stop criminals from exploiting technology to make the devices in the first place.
And if you had told folks, I think in law enforcement, let's say 10 years ago, that in 2024, machine guns would be a major threat to public safety, I think they'd have rolled their eyes at you in disbelief back then. It's in the days of Al Capone anymore. Yet, here we are in this room. And everywhere I go, all around the country, I talk to law enforcement, I listen to them, and they all tell me the same thing, that pounding, repetitive sound of automatic weapon fire has hit the streets of this nation like jackhammers.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky addressed the members of an annual international economic conference on the shores of Italy's Lake Como. Following his visit to Germany earlier on Friday, Zelensky continued to stress Ukraine's need for long-range weapons from international partners. He insisted that Ukraine only wants to use these weapons to strike military airfields inside Russia.
When we speak that, for example, Italia or somebody else, doesn't matter, are afraid that we will attack Kremlin. It's a pity we can't. Because those long distance weapons, what you had or some partners, it's about 200 kilometers. So it's less than those distance what about Tajani spoke. So, but your production have to try to do their best. But you have to understand, it's a joke, yes, but it's very serious.
Now, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris will square off on a Philadelphia stage soon for the first and perhaps only time before November's presidential elections. Take a look at this report and what to expect.
In what's shaping to be the most anticipated event in the 2024 presidential contest, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris will face off on a Philadelphia stage next Tuesday before November's election. This will be after Biden's disastrous debate performance that upended his re-election bid.
Look forward to the debates because I think we have to set the record straight.
If you got something to say,
Harris and Trump will be sparring in Pennsylvania, a key swing state that has sided with the winner of the last 2 presidential contests by just tens of thousands of votes.
Trump, this may be his last chance to change the narrative and the trajectory of the race. He obviously was doing much better in the national and battleground polling against President Biden, and now everything is tightened. And so this probably is going to be the only debate. And so trying to change the narrative, the focus, this 90-minute event will be the way to do it.
The stakes are higher for both the candidates.
I think the stakes are both for great. They're great for both candidates. Maybe a little higher for Harris in that she's not as defined, and she's had such a good rollout from July through picking the vice presidential candidate, the convention speech. She's won a lot of the news cycles, and so people are expecting a lot, especially if they don't know a lot about her going in.
With less than 2 months to go before voters head to the polls, Tuesday's matchup could be a defining moment in a presidential election, one that has already defied history.
Given it's one night only and the unique history and circumstances surrounding it, it's going to be unforgettable and could go down as one of the most impactful presidential debates of all time.
Now, Hungary's anti-immigrant administration is proposing to send asylum seekers to Brussels. The law proposes to impart asylum seekers a free one-way travel. Political tensions have now escalated over it, as the European Parliament is all set to debate the matter. It's a report.
Hungary's anti-immigrant administration is proposing to send asylum seekers to Brussels. It says it will provide them a free one-way travel. Hungary's move is seen as a strategy to push back against heavy fines imposed by the EU for Hungary's restrictive asylum policies.
Az Európai Unió, Brüsszel arra akarja kényszeríteni Magyarországot, hogy engedjük be azokat az illegális migránsokat, akiket eddig feltartóztattunk, akiket eddig 1 millió alkalommal tartóztattunk föl a magyar déli határnál, akkor Magyarország az európai eljárásrend lefolytatása után felajánlja ezeknek az illegális migránsoknak, hogy önkéntesen, ingyenesen, egy útra, akkor Brüsszelbe szállítjuk őket. Ha Brüsszel illegális migránsokat akar, akkor Brüsszel ezt megkaphatja.
This would transport migrants from Hungary's southern border with Serbia to Brussels, the EU headquarters in Belgium.
Brüsszeli álláspont szerint, ha az illegális migránsok szabadon mozoghatnak Magyarország területén, akkor az Európai Unió területén is szabadon mozoghatnak, tehát semmilyen akadály nincs annak, hogy ezekkel a buszokkal Budapestről, pontosabban Röszkéről, hiszen Röszkén van a magyar határ, a röszkei határátkelőről elutazzanak Brüsszelbe, és ott az Európai Bizottság székház előtt leszálljanak. Hogyha ezt szeretné Brüsszel, természetesen ez is megoldható, akkor Brüsszelbe szállíthatók az illegális migránsok.
The move comes after the recent ruling by the European Court that ordered Hungary to pay €200 million fine for its non-compliance with EU asylum regulations. The court had also imposed an additional daily penalty of €1 million until it aligns its policies with EU standards.
Ezt a fajta tevékenységet az Unió nem elismeri, hanem támadja. Nem anyagilag kompenzálja Magyarországot, hanem kényszerítő bírsággal akarja rávenni arra, hogy hagyjon föl Magyarország a határok megvédésével, ami nem más, mint az Európai Uniós és a magyar törvények betartása.
This after Hungary asked asylum seekers to apply for travel permits at Hungarian embassies in Serbia or Ukraine, rather than within the country itself. Prime Minister Viktor Orbán's government has threatened to take legal action against the European Union over the fines. It has also demanded compensation for the expenses incurred in border protection efforts. The diplomatic standoff continues to remain between Hungary and European Union.
Welcome back. Now, once a celebrated edtech startup, Bichhu is facing insolvency and bankruptcy crisis. Started by Bichhu Ravindran in the year 2011, the company is now facing heat after failing to pay taxes as well as its creditors. Now, court has appointed a resolution professional to oversee the financial matter. Here's a report on that.
Once hailed as India's biggest startup, EdTech giant Bichhu is now facing a financial crisis. The company is undergoing insolvency proceedings. Tax authorities are demanding $1 billion in unpaid dues. The Revenue Department has filed a claim for $18.7 million, while Karnataka state tax authorities are pursuing $82.3 million. These claims are listed on the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India's website. They highlight the government's financial expectations from Bichhu amid ongoing delays in employee salaries and tax contributions. The court has appointed a resolution professional, Pankaj Srivastava, to manage the company. He is overseeing submissions from lenders, employees, vendors as well as government bodies. Over 1,900 creditors have filed for claims which exceed $1.5 billion. Bichhu was once a celebrated startup company and gained massive popularity during the pandemic by providing online educational courses. The company's insolvency is a significant blow to the startup ecosystem and represents the challenges faced by them.